Okay, I'm looking at the case fatality rates of a whole stack of countries run over a 7-day rolling average. And this is from September the 1st, 2020 until now, basically, or 14th of February 2022. If you go back a little bit earlier than this, the case fatality rate was even as high as 14% in a lot of countries like the UK and Italy and the USA. It's basically settled down, and they introduced vaccines around here somewhere, so it doesn't seem to have done very much. The case fatality rate didn't really drop, perhaps a little bit, but what's happened of recent is with Omicron, if we zoom in to since Omicron came into the picture, so I'm going to zoom in from December the 1st, and you can see that the case fatality rate has dropped for almost all of these countries, and dropped, some of them have dropped to like really low values. Can I get a reading? I can get a reading. Okay, so you can see that the case fatality rate of most countries is like 0.1. Some of them even less, like I think Denmark was 0.07 last time I looked, but you can see it's really low. But for some of them it's not quite, hasn't quite dropped yet. That's because Omicron hasn't completely taken over, and there may still be some Delta around, so there's a bit of delay as Omicron moves in. But what I find extraordinary, I mean, even Russia, where is Russia? So can I find Russia somewhere here? Russia must be one of these big ones here somewhere. This is Russia, the blue one. Is that Russia? Russia's the blue there, the top one here, Russia. See, Russia was running around 4%, and they were actually lying early on. They were actually about 8%. We know that from the excess deaths. So recently it was running around 4%. I mean, just the start of the year, and suddenly it just plummeted down to, what is it now? Russia is 0.5%, and it's falling. But what's really weird is that South Africa is going up. Its case fatality rate is 6%. Now, I have some friends who have actually been to South Africa, and they reckon that what's happening is that a lot of people are not actually getting tested, so the case numbers are down. So it looks like the case fatality rate has gone up. I can't see any other variant that's come into the picture. The main one's Omicron BA.1, Omicron BA.2, Omicron BA.1.1. There's Omicron BA.3, but that doesn't seem to be doing much. In most countries, BA.2 and BA.1.1 are actually growing faster than BA.1, except in a couple of countries, I'm like in Australia, where it seems to be the reverse. But I'm not too sure I trust the data that's coming out of Australia. Anyhow, but this is really unusual. Why is South Africa's rate so high? Even if they're not counting case numbers properly, it's still going up. All right, and you follow what I mean? If they were not counting case numbers since the start of the year, January 2022, if they weren't counting them, and you would expect it to be steady, it might be higher, but this is actually going up, and that means that they're counting less and less case numbers and getting all these deaths. They don't actually have a lot of deaths, I don't think. I can look at the deaths, confirmed deaths, and South Africa's is right down the bottom here somewhere. South Africa, where's South Africa? It's in the middle there, just below Poland. The USA is actually having a lot of deaths, but they're having a lot of cases as well. Yeah, so that is a bit of a puzzle to me.